So recently we made the purchase of this wood burner, and I thought I'd do a quick video, not really a full-on review, just to give you an idea of why we chose this model and the kind of things we found out. We've only had it in a few days, but I thought it'd be good to have a quick video and give you a bit of an update. So the model is a Clearview Vision 500. The output, I believe, is up to about 8 kilowatts. So that meant we had to have an external air vent somewhere in the room, or a direct air feed. And I've done a fair bit of research into it, and I had a preference over having a direct feed. It meant we weren't pulling in air into the room from elsewhere in the house, especially with the drafty kind of doors in this old house. So basically you've got a box underneath which fits over the original vent, and then that is ducted out, and in this case we've gone out through the back of the wall, and I've used some steel pipe for that. It's not subjected to any heat, so you can use a variety of different ducting for that, but I found some good 3-inch pipe and we used that, and that'll work really quite well. So this is the stove itself. Still a little bit warm from last night. As you can imagine, having a stove, you want to use it straight away. So it's had some good use in its first few days. So the fire itself is a Clearview Vision 500, and it's a really great product. As far as the build quality goes, we didn't find much which came close to this. It's a UK company as well. When we did a quick search to have a look at things like the spares, whether it was fire bricks or rope or glass, they were so easily kind of readily available. So that was another great benefit for going from what is quite a popular stove, and probably one of the best renowned stoves that people tend to have in this country. So it's a steel stove rather than a cast iron. Whether the door may be cast iron, I'm not sure. But a really solid steel stove itself. Very heavy. You can manage with two of you, but it's certainly, you want to take your time moving it around. The box on the bottom was an additional purchase. I believe it was about £80. So it was a fairly big outlay for that option, for what it is really. But it did mean that we didn't have to have that vent elsewhere in the room, like I said. So we found it really easy to light so far. It's still a bit warm from last night. As you can imagine, we've had this going since we've had it fitted. So yeah, I mean, we threw a few logs on there just to see what the overnight burn was like. And although the ashes have really died down, it's still got a bit of heat there. So anyway, we'll get it lit now and see if we can get a nice fire going. Using the old price list from the stove shops. There's actually still some embers in there, so it won't take much. So a little bit of kindling, plenty of kindling from the house renovation, as some of you will know, having stripped out lots of panelling and this really brittle sort of cedar panelling. And just pop a few larger pieces. These are all offcuts from a joinery, really dry hardwood, burn really well. So pop a couple of those bits on. We'll shut the door and open the vent. Now it's got this vent here. From what I've read, I think this is more for kind of coal, whereas the main vent is controlled from underneath. And we found that if you just open the door just a little bit, it really gets a good feed of air in there and it ignites pretty quickly. So the embers that were there have been enough actually to light this. Otherwise it's just a single match or lighter. So I'll shut the door, let this get going, and we'll have a look at the burn. So this model is a multi-fuel fire, so if you wanted to, you could burn the kind of smokeless fuels and the coal and all that sort of stuff on there. We're primarily going to be using it for wood. Got fairly good supply from the renovation itself and from woodworking projects. of some fairly substantial kind of hardwood offcuts, and also we've got local supplies of logs. So should you want to use it for coal, as I said, this vent here gives that sort of under fire airflow, and also you've got the slider on the side which will kind of move the plate inside to loosen your ash and get it down into the tray. There's a tray on the inside where you simply open the door and then pull out the tray. So it's been going a couple of minutes now, and as you can see it really takes off pretty quickly. That's with the vent fully open now. As I said at the beginning, you can leave the door ajar, it really helps, but at this point if you open the door it really lights the fire up a lot. So at this point you can obviously slide in this little adjuster, which is just basically a little steel plate which closes over the aperture on the bottom of the stove, and you can close that right down, and it's almost like immediate. It's really effective, and you can really vary what you want to do with the fire. If we were going overnight like we tried last night, we just really rammed it all the way in, and it just ticked away. And then if I just pull it out again, you can hear the air coming through actually underneath, and that really takes off again. So the main thing that attracted us to this stove was the size of the door. In the past we'd had 2 doors at our old property, and by the time you've got the fire guard around for kids, you've got to open that door, and then you've got 2 doors to mess around with. So we wanted 1 door, and we also wanted a large viewing, a large window on it. So that was what really drew us to this model. I'll leave you with a few close-ups of the features of the fire, and what I'll probably do is another video in a few days, which will be on the actual fitting process of the stove, how we got it fitted, and how we kind of saved quite a bit of money by sourcing a lot of the stuff ourselves. So I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.